What is up, guys? Welcome back. So, question of the day was, is it worth spending that extra cash to get better tools? So, in my opinion, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't go that extra step in buying name quality, name brand tools. I would stick to, for example, like Mastercraft, Sears, those brands there, like Harbor Freight or whatever. The reason why I'm saying not to go and spend that extra money, it's because you're starting off, you don't know if you're gonna like the trade. I did the same thing. I started off with a kit from Canadian Tire. It was, if I'm not mistaken, 500 pieces for $700. It was a kit that had everything. It had impact sockets, it had an impact gun, it had everything that you needed to start off. You're gonna start with doing ugly jobs. Like, I'm not saying that you're gonna be doing engine jobs and all that. You don't need name brand tools. I still use some Mastercraft tools. Like, look, I have Mastercraft keys that I use often, right here. There's certain sizes that I don't have them in Snap-on. I do have Snap-on keys, don't get me wrong. But it's not worth spending $700 on a set of keys from 10 to 19. So you're basically buying 9 keys for $700. Okay, there's a reason why they cost that much. The quality is better. You also have the flank drive. You don't strip nuts. Like, it's just better. Also, impact guns. Do you need to go spend that extra money, $700, $500, $600, whatever it is, on an impact gun? No, you don't. You could buy an Ingersoll Rand. You could buy a cheaper gun. It's gonna do the job. As long as you're torquing down afterwards what you're tightening, you won't have a problem. Once you get into the trade and you like what you're doing, then if you're willing to invest, invest. It's worth it. Your tools are gonna be with you forever, and name brand tools are usually guaranteed for life. For example, where I work, I have a tool truck that comes. I have a Snap-on guy that comes every week. He comes every Wednesday. So for me, it's convenient for me to buy name brand tools. I'll buy Snap-on. I'll go that extra step and buy the electric Snap-on kit, you know? I have electric Snap-on 3/8, half inch, the light. I have a lot of Snap-on tools. Is Snap-on the best? Probably not. They're not the best, but that's what I get on a weekly basis coming here. I think, for example, if I'm not mistaken, I think Milwaukee is actually one of the best tools to own right now. They perform, they're cheaper than Snap-on, and you could find them anywhere. If I had the choice, I wouldn't buy Snap-on anymore. I would go with other tools. But it's for my convenience. I have the guy coming every week. I still use a lot of lower quality tools. I'm not saying that I have all the best tools in the world. Extensions. You don't need Snap-on extensions that are going to be 3 in a kit and it's going to cost you $300. Canadian Tire has the whole kit for $20 when they're on special. They're worth it. They're good. Buy them. Or even swivels. Yes, Snap-on has the super swivels where the angle of the swivel is double than the regular of this. It'll swivel more. It'll go that extra angle. But these do the job for me. So, is it worth it? It depends your pocket. If your pocket says, I want to do it, go for it. Why not? But if you're on a tighter budget, I wouldn't spend that extra money right away. I would stay with the lower quality tools. As long as it gets the job done and it gets the job done good, you don't need to spend that extra money on buying name brand tools. You could tell the difference though with, for example, my half-inch ratchet. I don't have a Snap-on half-inch ratchet. I have a half-inch Snap-on breaker bar that I use often. I would spend money on that because it's worth it. But my half-inch ratchet, it's a Stanley. It does the job, but the quality is not the same as you would get with a snap-on. I don't know if you'll hear it. If I'm not mistaken, there is 180 teeth in this ratchet here, and there's only 98 or 100 teeth in this ratchet here. So you're spending that money for that, you know. At the end of the day, it's your own preference. So it's you that has to work with the tools. You have to be willing to buy the tools and be happy with them. Another tool that's really worth spending that extra money on is a multimeter. The reason why I say that is when you're doing electrical problems, you want the precise diagnostic, the precise reading for that problem. You don't want a multimeter that's going to be jumping around all the time and giving you a big question mark. Will mark telling you if it's 6 ohms or 10 ohms, or you don't know which one it is. So I suggest you spend the money and you get yourself a good multimeter that's going to actually tell you the exact number that it is. I would suggest Fluke, Snap-on. There's even Power Probe that makes a good scanner too, multimeter. You want an accurate multimeter, so spend the money on a good multimeter that's going to last for a very long time. I have had Mastercraft multimeter, I've had Mac Tools multimeter, and the Snap-on one. I have the new generation Snap-on multimeter. Comes in the case. It's in my opinion, it's the best one that they have. It comes with the Bluetooth option, so you could connect it to your phone. So if you're reading something, let's say in the engine bay, if your multimeter's in the engine bay and you have to go test or see something, you have to go wiggle a wire or whatever in the trunk of the car, you could connect the multimeter to your phone on Bluetooth and you'll see the reading. It's exactly the same as the multimeter. I'll make a video of it one day. You're gonna see it's gonna be exactly the same as if you have the multimeter in your hand. So spend the money on it. It's worth it. It's gonna last you a very long time. These are tools that you're gonna need on a daily basis, depending on what your specialty is. But specialty tools are worth spending that extra money on. You're gonna need it. Another good tool to get is that I would spend that extra money on is a torque wrench. The reason why I say torque wrench is if you're doing engine jobs and you need an exact reading, or if you need an angle that you have to achieve, a torque wrench, a good torque wrench nowadays, they have all that inside. Yes, it's a bit expensive. The Snap-on one, if I'm not mistaken, the new one with the angle, it's $700, but it's worth it. So tools that are more specialty related, I would suggest spending that extra money. It's gonna pay itself off, well, in the long run, depending on what you do. If you're working for somebody, or if you have your own garage, or also depends where you work, if you work on game time or not. If you work on game time, then when you have tools that work in your favor, you'll be saving on time and it's actually convenient for you. So that's my take on more expensive tools than compared to lower end tools. That's what I think. So you guys, you could take it with a grain of salt, but that's my opinion on stuff. So I'm gonna end the video here, guys. If you like to see more videos like this, please comment down below. Subscribe to the channel, it helps out big time. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.